Hey, so today we're talking about lenses for the Panasonic S1H. So before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and when I do, I'm gonna get a little tattoo right here. So if you wanna see me in some pain, subscribe. And if you end up liking the video, actually give the video a like. It's gonna help a lot with the YouTube algorithm. It's gonna help my channel more than you realize. So keep that in mind. But now on to the actual video. So what lenses should you buy for the Panasonic S1H? So if you are getting this camera, if you are in the market for this camera, a majority of people may have the assumption that because you are spending $4,000 on a camera that you don't have a budget, which just isn't the case. Yes, the camera is super expensive. It is super expensive, but that doesn't mean that you have to break the bank with the lenses either. So luckily there are not that many options. I'm assuming that if you are watching this video, you are on a bit of a budget. Like I said, you spent $4,000 on a camera, but you don't want to go and spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on some lenses for that. So what are the actual options? Number one, you can get an adapter. So you could get the Sigma MC22. This will let you use Canon lenses with the S1H. When you do this, make sure that you are getting full frame lenses, because obviously if you don't get a full frame lens, you're not gonna get access to 6K while using this camera. I did that at first and kind of messed me up a little bit. So I was a little bit nervous to go and get Canon lenses after I bought the APS-C ones at first, but just make sure that you're getting full frame glass. That is the most important thing. That is probably gonna be the cheapest option if you just want some lenses to get you through, because Canon lenses are the absolute cheapest lenses that you can get because they're the most widely used, they're the most widely adapted, they're the safest option for sure. Now, if you don't want to go get the Canon lenses, because there are plenty of options for Canon lenses, you can get native L-mount lenses. So this leaves you with three options. 1, Sigma, 2, Panasonic, 3, Leica. When you're looking for these lenses, again, make sure that they are the full frame version. The Sigma FP uses L-mount, but it is an APS-C camera, so there are specific Sigma branded L-mount lenses that are APS-C. So make sure you're getting full frame. But aside from that, Sigma is gonna be your cheapest option, and then the Panasonic/Lumix, the S Pro line, if you will, and then Leica. So let's start off with what you probably won't be getting, and that is the Leica lenses. These lenses are like $5,000 a piece, so they are more than this camera. So I don't see a lot of people getting those ones just in general, but definitely not right off the bat. Definitely not if you're watching this video, you are not getting the Leica lenses. You're not spending $5,000 on one lens. That's not it. So the question is, should you get the S Pro lenses from Panasonic or the Sigma lenses? You'll notice that I actually have the Sigma lenses. This is because they're half the price of the Panasonic lenses and they allow for me to get f1.4. That's kind of important for me. I film a lot of stuff at night, so I need a good low light camera. I need a good low light lens. So that's where my head was. Also, there's just not a whole lot of options with the S Pro line. You probably don't want to spend $2,500 on one lens. So personally, I just wouldn't recommend getting the S Pro line of lenses. There's not that many of them out, so there's not a whole lot of options. So now what do you do? So there's two options and one question that you need to think about. Do I need low light? Do you need low light? Do you need to film things in low light? Do you need that really fast aperture? If you need something faster than an f2.8, then you need to go with primes. If you don't need an f1.8, then you can get zooms. If you don't need low light, if you're not gonna be filming a lot at night, you don't need that super fast aperture, you're gonna save a little bit of money because you only need to get two lenses. And those lenses are the Sigma 14-24 f2.8 and the Sigma 24-70 f2.8. So this is gonna get you all the way from 14 millimeters all the way to 70. That's gonna be all that you need. Just those two lenses, you're good for a while. If you do need low light, then we have some options. Personally, I would recommend getting a 50 millimeter 1.4 and the 85mm 1.4. Those are gonna be the two best lenses that you can get for this camera. Now the question is, do you need something wider than a 50mm? And if so, I'd probably recommend the 24mm just because it makes a little bit more sense. It's just because it's gonna get you that nice wide look. So that's really the question. Do you need something really, really wide? And if you do, then it looks like you're getting 3 lenses. If you don't, then you are getting 2 lenses. So that is about it. Let's get a little recap going on. But before we do, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, and like the video if you have liked it so far. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. So, how tight of a budget are you on? If you're on a super, super tight budget, if you splurged on the camera and don't have a whole lot of money to really invest into lenses, it looks like you are getting the Sigma MC22 and you are using Canon branded lenses. Make sure that you get full frame lenses. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. Make sure that they are full frame. If you want native L-mount lenses, you have 3 options. Option number 1, Leica. Option number 2, Lumix S Pro, and number 3, Sigma. If you're watching this video, you're not getting the Leica lenses because they start off at about $5,000. I also would not recommend getting the S Pro lenses because they're $2,500 and there's just not a lot of options. So that leaves us with the Sigma lenses. Now, do you need low light? Do you need to film things at night? If the answer is no, then I would recommend getting the Sigma 14-24 f2.8 and the Sigma 24-70 f2.8. This is gonna get you the entire spectrum all the way from 14 to 70mm. Now, if you do need to film in low light, I'd recommend starting off with the 50mm f1.8. This is a good all-around lens. And then also getting the 85mm f1.8. This is gonna get you that really good bokeh, that blurry background. You're gonna be able to isolate your subject. Now, do you need something wider or not? If you do, I'd recommend the Sigma 24mm f1.8. If you don't need the wide, then just get the 50 and the 85. It kind of rhymed a little bit. If you don't need the wide, get the 50 and the 85. Hey, we're out here, but that is all that I have for you guys today. Again, if you like the video, give it a like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe, help me get to 1,000 subscribers, and turn on those post notifications so you can see when I get the video about my tattoo and you can see me in pain. But aside from that, that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and that's it. All right? All right.